fans making their voices heard in the singing and the support. Well, let's give you the team news. Fabio Capello really did reveal his hand in the friendly here at the weekend. Just one change. Tottenham's Aaron Lennon edging out Sean Wright-Phillips. David Beckham, a notable candidate for that right side of midfield, is on the bench. Capello has ignored the media clamour for Jermaine Defoe, who has scored 5 goals as a substitute in England's last 3 games. He's a sub once more tonight, with Emile Heskey keeping the manager's faith.
And of course it's a night where England have to be very strong and organised at the back. That little triangle of keeper Robert Green, John Terry and Matthew Upson has to be super sound. Going forward, I don't have any concerns with England. There's creation and pace.
Croatia's backup goalkeeper Vedran Runja was their hero on Saturday. First choice Petikosa is still out injured, as is Luka Modric of Spurs, and his club colleague Shaw Luka is suspended after 2 yellow cards in that game against Belarus. A new Tottenham player, Nico Kranjčar, does play along with the Arsenal forward Eduardo, who's been much in the news recently. Shaw Luka's place at the back goes to the captain Dario Srna. He switches from midfield. Mandzukic, who scored against England in Zagreb, comes in, as does Pokrivac for Ratikic, whose winning goal against Belarus 4 days ago hasn't kept him in the 11 tonight.
Well, this Croatia side, I think, are better going forward than they are defensively. Eduardo is a real threat up front, as is Olic, not only with his work rate but also his ability to pinch a goal as well.
The 36-year-old referee comes from Pamplona in Spain, and it is Alberto Undiano. It's set fair. Although the pitch might look a picture to you, the England players were pretty critical of it after their game here, the friendly against Slovenia on Saturday. As a warming-up exercise, it was a little bit tepid. A 2-1 win. Croatia rather stumbled to 3 points themselves in Group 6 with that 1-0 win over Belarus in Zagreb. But they prefer playing away. The weight of expectation of their fans has been a burden in their home games, particularly against England, who went to Zagreb a year ago and won by 4 goals to 1. The hat-trick hero that night, Theo Walcott, is missing injured, but Wayne Rooney scored in that game, and Frank Lampard, he is absolutely crucial to England's hopes tonight, and indeed you feel in South Africa, where surely Capello is going to lead England, whether it's tonight, the upcoming games away to Ukraine, and here against Belarus. Not quite the golden team for Slaven Bilic that it was a couple of years ago, through injuries, suspension, loss of form. Here's John Terry, partnered tonight again by Matthew Upson. Rio Ferdinand close to fitness but not ready for this England get-together. Actually, Cole certainly is, and looks early for Heskey. Croatia won here a little under 2 years ago. Terry didn't play. It was a very under-strengthening the back four, and it rather showed that night in a nervous goalkeeper in Scott Carson. Mandzukic can play as a striker, but is working that right-hand side. Trying to help Srna, the right back. First involvement for Lennon.
Well, I think it's important that Aaron Lennon gets on the ball early this evening and can deliver some quality in for Heskey, who is a bit of an unsung hero and a player that you value more as as a teammate than maybe the spectators value him.
Is playing in the middle for Croatia with Pranic on the left-hand side. There's an attacking player. Heskey's been flagged offside here. Poprivac's starting as an orthodox left-back. It's interesting, Gary, this, because there is some feeling in this country, as well as I guess with the Slaven Bilic in Croatia, that Glenn Johnson can be vulnerable defensively. Pranic, who loves to get forward, is asked to start further forward and maybe try and expose a weakness in England's back line.
Well, I think we saw it here at Wembley on Saturday against Slovenia, where Glenn Johnson was found wanting on a couple of occasions. Balls played past him, inside him, positionally. He wasn't sound, and make no mistake about it, Croatia, their movement is good and they do like to rotate round.
They'd love to have Modric, they'd love to have Luka at the back. Kovac, who was sent off against England last year in the home game between these two, so short of fitness. So brother Nico has retired from the international scene. Transitional phase, trying to get their traditional passing game going there. Simovic a little tentative, nothing tentative. That's a shot for handball, which Steven Gerrard now joins in. He was concentrating on playing on. It looked a decent shout from here.
Well, my initial reaction, Martin, was that it was certainly the hand that struck the ball there, or was it the ball that struck the hand? The referee was possibly blindside.
Here's Johnson. Appeal again. He said no free kick against Croatia on the right back. And England looking for a storming start here with Lennon. Simovic, the Australian-born centre-back, a vast experience. He's able to get in a challenge there and buy Croatia a little bit of breathing space. But, a bit more than they thought, because...
well, this was the incident, wasn't it? And, you know, as a player, you don't deliberately handle the ball in the area because you know it's a penalty. So there was no real intention, and of course Gerrard has a case there. I'm going to probably just favour the referee for getting it right.
Krizanac was the defender. Capello's saying that Slaven Bilic has done a lot of his team talk for him, with some comments maybe lost a little bit in translation, although Bilic himself speaks excellent English, saying that some of the Englishness has gone out of Capello's England team with the Italian influence.
Well, there's a strong argument that that isn't a bad thing, Martin, to be honest with you. You know, you can't live in the past, you can't live on just what you believe your strengths to be. You have to always move forward.
Chance for Croatia to move forward here. Draw, of course, that Ukraine were held to in Belarus earlier. It's good news for Croatia, who realistically are looking for the playoffs, one would think. There's Pranic. This is where England might be caught out by movement. Olic is such a crafty player and such an industrious one. Wind up for the cross. Back off him, unluckily, from Croatia's point of view.
Well, you saw a little glimpse there, didn't you, when England lost possession, the movement of Croatia, the willingness to get forward. In the end it came to nothing, but Croatia very dangerous on the break.
Johnson. He's crafting the pass for Lennon. Heskey's in the middle, Rooney's in the middle. Lennon going on as if he doesn't need support. Penalty. Foul by Simovic, who can be clumsy at times. He's had this problem against England before. And Croatia protest. The culprit goes across to have his say. For the first real surge into the box from Lennon, and look what happens.
clear penalty, no two ways about that. Not a difficult decision for the referee to make, but the minute Lennon started to attack the Croatian back line, you could see the concern, and you're so right, Šimunić is clumsy, extremely clumsy.
Now, Croatia will have done their homework. Lampard took a penalty here on Saturday, hit it to the goalkeeper's right. So there's a guessing game going on here. Runje will certainly know that. What will Lampard do? He goes the same side with the same result. A great early boost for England. The lead after 7 minutes. And Lampard's been in a hot streak, whether it's from the spot or scoring generally from midfield. This is 5 in his last 7 internationals now.
It really is a great take. He's hit it with great accuracy, real confidence, and it's the power that's beaten the keeper.
Well, there was some contention about England's penalty on Saturday, but absolutely no doubts about this one. But on both occasions, no doubts at all about the efficiency of Frank Lampard from the penalty spot. England 1, Croatia 0. He's also scored in that game against Croatia here that we've referred to several times already tonight. A penalty in the 2-3 defeat. Here's Kranjčar, whose early goal past Scott Carson rather set a more dismal tone from England's point of view. But they're off to a flyer here. But Šimunić very much to blame, really.
Well, it's a lovely platform for England to build from. It truly is. On a night where, of course, they needed to score because they're looking to win this game, but on a night where I felt they needed to be possibly quite patient. And now it really is a strong position for England. They have to stay focused, they have to stay concentrated, and certainly try and calm the tempo of this game down now.
Kranjčar has more of the playmaking role, really, in the absence of Modric. Krivich doesn't get very far. Rooney with a couple to take on, that won't faze him. With him with Šimunić. Rooney crosses. Did well to get close, really, Steven Gerrard.
Well, England saw the opportunity to win the ball back, and when they did, they were very positive. A little bit surprised, personally, that Heskey, who originally won that ball back, didn't manage to get into the area to threaten to get on the end of Rooney's cross.
And it's Rooney who's offside. Too early for England to pop the champagne corks, but behind the scenes they might just be checking how many bottles are in the fridge. Especially if Croatia continue to give the ball away. Cerna, who's not usually culpable in that respect, and it's Lennon again. It looks an inspired selection, Gary. There weren't too many places up for grabs, were there? But no. Wide on the right was certainly one of them.
Well, when Aaron Lennon replaced Sean Wright-Phillips on Saturday in the friendly, I felt he made a big impact in that game. Of course, set up Jermaine Defoe for his goal. And so far this evening, when Lennon's got on the ball and he's been able to run at defenders, he's caused problems, he's won free kicks, and of course, he won the decisive penalty as well.
Rooney looks for him again and finds him. Heskey is in the middle this time, and so is Rooney. Too much on it, and very measured header by Mandzukic. He's involved again here, trying to seek out and find out whether there's a soft centre to England's defending. Here's Gareth Barry. That even earlier claim for handball and a penalty rather pales into insignificance. England have struck from the spot. From that left-hand side when he gets the ball. The ball finding Lennon from Rooney. Barry to strike it. Williams a long way off his line and maybe needed to be. Parried it away. And Croatia look brittle already. He's been beaten once.
Well, in the end, it's a fabulous save, isn't it? But Lennon very much involved, and Barry sees his opportunity to strike it. It's fizzing into the bottom corner. The keeper makes a super save, partially unsighted as well.
Yeah, he certainly saw it take off, but lost sight of it as it went beyond Emil Heskey. Johnson. Terry.
Well, not one of John Terry's best balls forward for Heskey in the channel, but Heskey so far been involved, been strong up front, and I'm sure the England bench at the moment absolutely delighted with what they're watching in front of them, because Croatia desperately trying to stay inside this game now.
It's two tiers to that England group, those who are stripped and available to come on, the 7 substitutes. The bank of 7 who surplus to requirements tonight. He's done it before, Joe Simonic. It was a game at Portman Road between England and Croatia, 2003, and he gave away a penalty. Then he's been around that long. Lampard, who scored his first England goal in that match, gets his latest England goal in this game. Barry. Switch Croatia. Panic has gone to left back now. The man of playing Popovats there really hasn't worked. He's looked all over the place. So it's 1-0 to England, and it's 1 or 2-0 in a tactical battle between Capello and Bilic.
The main reason is because England have got the ball out to Lennon. Lennon is full of confidence at the moment. As England
radiating belief again, aren't they, with Ashley Cole just called offside?
Yeah, it's a really confident start from England, and you know the officials get that one spot on. Ashley Cole just breaking a little bit too early, but certainly Croatia in a certain amount of disarray at the moment.
Plays on. Mandzukic. Bukarjevic. By Senna. He does play it right back for his club, Shakhtar Donetsk, who has won the last UEFA Cup. Kancha. He's the regular left back, so it was a definite ploy. So, we talked about the attacking side of it, but also presumably to try and help the defending, but that failed abysmally. Simonic was exposed, clumsy tackle though it was, and serves in from the right-hand side, and Modric will be thinking, I wish I was out there and I wish I could help. There's Olic. Terry. It's over elaborate from Glenn Johnson.
Well, it's a sign of confidence, isn't it? But there are certain areas on the park where you can't afford to be too confident.
Cerna, there's a deflection on the cross, Barry jumping for it. And in the end, Mandzukic had a sight of goal. It wasn't an easy chance, but it was more encouraging for Croatia.
And basically because England gave the ball away cheaply in this right back spot, but it's definitely a half chance. If he gets over the top of that, then suddenly Robert Green has got some problems.
Gerrard. It's Lennon again. Goes for the early cross this time. Gerrard coming in! Lennon makes it. Gerrard scores it. England 2, Croatia 0. They can start getting the champagne out of the fridge.
Well, Aaron Lennon has been left in so much space on this right-hand side. One of the criticisms against Aaron Lennon in the past has been the quality of his delivery into the penalty area. But on this occasion, with so much space, nobody putting him under pressure whatsoever, he can pick out the perfect cross, and it's a real textbook header from Stevie Gerrard at that far post, heads it back in the direction from whence it came, and really and truly, that should be enough for England this evening.
So whoever plays at left back, it isn't working for Slaven Bilic, because Lennon could weigh up the distance, take out the right club and just chip it to his target. A spot of crossing practice really, and Steven Gerrard, who was the desperate captain when England lost here to Croatia in 2007, is a happy midfield man tonight. Lampard and Gerrard, they said they couldn't play in the same team for a while. They're the 2 England scorers here, and we haven't had yet 20 minutes. Croatia tonight is complete, but not in terms of pressurising for the playoffs. Although Ukraine will face England in the next game, won't be the strongest England team you've ever seen. I can almost guarantee that. So England is secure in South Africa from this evening. It's a trip that regulars won't be asked to make. Offside. They could argue they didn't mark him this time because he was offside, but I don't think that was the reason.
No, they're really struggling, Croatia, to live with the pace and movement of England. They can't get close, they haven't got challenges in, and the end result is that England find themselves deservedly 2-0 up.
Šiminić. You might think because England won 4-1 in Zagreb, since Steven Gerrard led England to that defeat here in the European Championships, knocked England out, didn't go to the finals in Austria and Switzerland, of course you'll remember all that. You might think because of that 4-1 win that there wouldn't be any measure of revenge here. You'd be wrong, talking to the players. Resting on laurels. Capello wouldn't want that in any case. It'll be interesting to see with this 2-goal lead in the bank how they set about it, Gary.
Well, I think that England have been so positive that to do anything other than continue in that vein would be a mistake. I really do.
Kranjčar. Barry hits it away from Mandzukic. So they're trying to win it back. Mandzukic again. Trying to find Olic through the middle. And he wasn't given offside, and that's the type of movement that can trouble England. Olic has the shot, blocked by Terry rather spectacularly. Crown enjoyed it. Eduardo. Orthodox block by Gareth Barry that time. So chasing. Continued up by Križanac. Gets it again off the goalkeeper. Cerna. Will be concerned if Cerna can get on the ball, because he's a real deft user of it, as well as being a set-piece specialist. Kranjčar. A bit of defending that time by Lennon.
Well, it was interesting, as Croatia got forward down the right-hand side, I could see Capello on that far side shouting at Lennon to tuck back in. He did that. I felt that was offside, the ball forward there. The official on the far side didn't. But again, a little warning. Good movement from Croatia.
Headed on by Heskey, really must be offside. Just a little bit watching then. It's unlike him. Been this talk about how you gain penalties these days. Some of the Croatian players critical of Rooney. They got their penalty here on Saturday. And of course, in comparison with their own Eduardo, who has been punished by UEFA for, on the report it said, deceiving the referee. Arsenal in the Champions League berth against Celtic. And here they are, in some sort of comparison in that respect, on the same pitch at Wembley tonight. Šiminić. Forward. Work by Mandzukic, who's been one of the more confident Croatian performers so far. It's been the best part of 25 minutes, which has suggested that Croatia, again with the proviso, Gary, of the injuries and suspension, they have gone backwards a little.
Yeah, I don't think Croatia are quite the side that they were 2 years ago. And of course, Slaven Bilic, having been so bold with some of his comments to the media, and has tried a little tactical ploy in the early stages that hasn't worked out. Unfortunately, from Croatia's perspective at the moment, it hasn't been their evening by any stretch of the imagination.
Johnson. Lampard.
They seem to have worked their way back into the game a little bit, Croatia, don't they? They've retained possession quite well. They're sharing it around and building some confidence at least.
Looking for Olic. Well watched by Terry. Cole. side this year to suggest that he's become Capello's first choice right back. Heskey, a bit like Johnson, he's getting queried in the media a little bit, but he brings physique, force. He certainly brings the best out of the strikers that he plays with, invariably.
Well, I think with Heskey, you have that strength, you have that power. You've just seen it there. Ball clipped into him. He's managed to retain it. He's won England a free kick. We've seen the little flick on, which Rooney almost got onto, but was caught offside. When England have been under pressure, they've got the ball into Heskey, who's managed to hold it up and set it off again and relieve that pressure. You know, it's the stuff that maybe the fans don't notice, but the players appreciate.
Go wide to Aaron Lennon here, Lampard, but he goes instead for goal and very nearly finds it. It was an audacious attempt. Runye saved with some difficulty.
Well, Lampard's got everything behind that. The ball's moving in the air. In the end, I think you've got to give real credit to the keeper. Strong hands in order to palm it away. Towards Gerrard. Terry has stayed up. It's handed away by Kranic. Immediately tries to locate Lennon. Here's Johnson. Rooney. Brilliantly defined. Lampard, who was looking for Heskey, who was just caught the wrong side from his point of view, the defender. And that's ended up on the deck. East England corner again, making Croatia look vulnerable at the back. The latest players to leave Portsmouth. I think they played at Wembley, of course. So we go to Tottenham. It was there for Eduardo to strike, and he can strike them a lot better than that. His effort created with some irony in terms of striking. Lampard's connection from that free kick was very sweet indeed. Well, he's full of confidence, isn't he, Lampard? Distance isn't a problem, power and accuracy aren't either. Is the keeper up to it? And on that occasion, Runye managed to palm it away.
Heskey winning it again. His back pass. Easy for Runye, but he's decent with the ball at his feet, so maybe Cerny was well aware that any potential problems could be solved with a little twist and turn like that. I'm sure Gary You've played with many a goalkeeper who thought he was worthy of a place in the team as an outfield player.
Well, the truth is, with the modern game and the back pass rule, the keeper can't pick it up. They have to be more like an outfield player.
In the box, and they have to do that. Croatia, retrieved by Cerny. Kranjčar with Kranic again. Picked off by Johnson. Lennon star gets past Kranic. Trying to play it in behind Šiminić, who's hustled. It's a mistake by Heskey again. He was the player, Šiminić, who notoriously was given 3 yellow cards in one game by an English referee, Graham Poll, this World Cup.
But again, you see that the ball that Glenn Johnson has knocked forward, looking for Emil Heskey, didn't really favour the striker, but he worked hard and he put Šiminić under pressure. England win a throw-in, well advanced up the park.
Lampard. Gerrard. Irish crowd scene, but Gerrard found a way through it. In the end, Crancher to Eduardo. Stop by Upson, goes Olic. Well, says the Spanish referees, relatively inexperienced for a match of this intensity. Looking for Lennon, and they should be. They can't find him all the time. Posed the question on Saturday, Gary. I guess will be asked maybe by the fellow players, probably not by Capello, to Glenn Johnson. Who do you prefer playing behind on England's right-hand side? We have a view, that's for sure. And there are plenty of candidates. We talked about Walcott not being here, and Beckham's on the bench. Wright Phillips hasn't even made the 18 tonight. Played in the starting 11 at the weekend.
It's true, and having spent a lot of time at right back, as has Wes Brown there in the picture, you do need your right-sided midfielder to do a good job for you, to protect you, to show players in the right direction as well. And maybe, just maybe, Glenn Johnson feels happier with Aaron Lennon there than Sean Wright-Phillips. I don't know whether the question's been asked.
To a press conference, I'd like to ask him. Whether he'd answer it is another matter.
I think not.
No, I agree with you. Hit Gerrard in the face. Panic. Free kick has been given. It's 36, the referee looks about 26, I must say. Match under his control. Not too feisty, possibly because it's a contest. At the moment, it's rather one-sided.
Well, I think both sides, when they've been in possession, have moved the ball pretty well. Of course, England to far greater effect, but there hasn't been any really physical challenges out there so far.
Barry. Still more than 10 minutes to go to half-time. England leading for a Lampard penalty and a Gerrard header. The slide from Heskey. As we've seen, is good to the ball at his feet. There's Lennon. Nice to him as well. And he's onside, he's in. Aaron Lennon blocked by Runye. Not sure it was going in. Maybe a little surprised that he was in such a good position and couldn't quite take full advantage of it.
Whether it was going in or not, the keeper's made a good save. He's got a hand to it, but Aaron Lennon is loving his time out here and wide on this right-hand side, and England just have to keep giving him the ball because nobody can get near him.
Just trying to bend his run. Stay onside. And he's a Lennon, and they're dancing to his tune.
This is the opportunity. It's a good save. It wasn't a particularly confident finish from Aaron Lennon, who has been in good goal-scoring form at club level with Tottenham this season.
He's got the winner in Tottenham's last two games. So different so far to 2007. It's a very wet night. To despair for England. Pleasant day in the southeast of England, a bit of minor drizzle in the air. The climate is good for England in terms of meteorology, in terms of the football. Group 6. Cerna.
Well, England have worked hard there because they forced Croatia from one side to the other, but this is the opportunity, clearly onside, and a slightly tentative finish from Aaron Lennon, but again, he is the major problem for Croatia this evening.
He never betrays much, does he, in terms of his feelings? I can tell you he has got a real grip on this group of players. I don't just mean the 11, all those who are England candidates. There have been very few dropouts since Capello took over as England's head coach, on the back of that defeat, of course, of Steve McLaren, had won that night against Croatia. Maybe Capello would never have been in charge of England.
Well, Gareth Barry judged to have clipped his opponent there. Wasn't too sure about it, and I'm not either, I've got to be honest, but the point about Capello, who does show some emotion there, he thought it was wrong, is that Capello has instilled discipline and a very strict regime with some highly paid, excellent footballers.
Absolutely. Don't need to force the play now. There will be a balancing act between retaining possession and making sure that they're still positive in their outlook. Disrespectful for Croatian fans to suggest that the game is over. Croatia ranked 9th in the world, and 2 places below England. Solid platform has been built here. Capello's team so far. There's more promise in the air with Gerrard. Rooney. Say so of the assistant. It's a free kick to Croatia.
Well, it is a lovely position for England to be in, 2-0 up, approaching half-time. It's important they keep it tight at the back until half-time. If Croatia were to nick a goal, then suddenly the whole picture changes. If England get the 3rd goal in this game, then I really think there's no way back for Croatia.
Yeah, glimpse of 3 England substitutes there. David Beckham, of course, Jermaine Defoe. The sub who can't stop scoring when he does get into games. Wayne Bridge. On the bench tonight for Julian Lescott or Michael Carrick, Carlton Cole. Substitutes used on Saturday. Place on the bench or in the team for Sean Wright Phillips, who started the game. Message is, if you get the chance, you better take it. It will be about an England squad going forward to South Africa. Lampard just coming back. Wasn't too happy with the flag that time.
Well, again, it's very, very tight, and quite possibly the official on this side got it right, felt that a part of Heskey's body was ahead of the last defender.
There were offsides in the other half of the pitch, and you had to get the ball into the other half of the pitch to win an offside decision. Being penalised for offside. Croatia have just not been able to do that on any sort of consistent basis. Obviously hit hard by conceding the early goal after 7 minutes, the Lampard penalty. Off the back of a much criticised performance in their own country, though they won on Saturday against Belarus. Shaped up as their supporters would have hoped here so far. Gerrard making his own luck, being grabbed a bit as well. Good free kick. Possession being lost. Simic muscled Heskey that time. caught. Olic. Well, from England's point of view, that looks very good. The way it's been achieved, particularly with the contributions of Lennon, who's put Heskey in here, and that really would have wrapped up probably the match, would have sealed a splendid first half. He'll still want a third goal. England would have had it already.
Credit to the keeper yet again, great movement from England. Aaron Lennon very much involved, Heskey just onside, times it brilliantly, but a disappointing finish in the end.
That would have been a third assist for Lennon. Gerrard. Lampard. Well, card's been shown to Šimunić. So coming in at the back of Heskey.
Well, Heskey had that opportunity, couldn't bury it, should have buried it, and then he plays a huge part in setting Lampard up for a great opportunity, and you just wonder if Defoe had been in that position with instead of either of those two players, what might have happened with his goal-scoring form at the moment. But Heskey is not a natural goal-scorer, he truly isn't.
It's his record of 7 in, this is his 56th international, will be held against him in some quarters. Rooney was taking that on, knowing that Rooney was off his line. In keeping with England playing here, and Šimunić and his fellow defenders are having such a harrowing evening. He was yellow carded in the home game against England as well. Pjanic. With it. There's plenty of that by Fabio Capello. Pjanic gives it away very cheaply indeed. Gerrard to Lampard. And this time, Heskey know that the gaps are getting wider and wider. Chances catalogue here for England, and Heskey into the goalkeeper then.
Well, Capello knows that his side should now be 4-0 up at least, and they truly should. Again, some great movement from England once they saw the opportunity to penetrate. Lampard slides Heskey in. His first touch isn't quite good enough, he can't get it out of his feet. And again, credit to the keeper who takes a bit of a knock for his troubles, but Croatia need to get to half-time, get in and regroup, because England are really cutting them to pieces at the back.
Sure, Gary, whether Heskey got the yellow card for that. If he did, it's means a suspension for the next game. We'll try and confirm that at half-time. Terry. Lampard. Well, it's the end of a very productive first half for England, and a night where Fabio Capello will hope to, in his own quiet way, be celebrating qualification for the World Cup finals. Aaron Lennon's been the key, earning the penalty that Frank Lampard dispatched after just 7 minutes. Really set the tone here. Gerrard headed in a Lennon cross, still inside the 20-minute mark. There have been other chances for Heskey and for other England players as well. It's been pretty much one-way traffic. And at half-time, England leading Croatia by 2 goals to 0. Already tonight, Belarus drawn 0-0 at home to Ukraine, which is also... Slaven Bilic has made 2 half-time changes. This is Ivan Rakitic, who scored the only goal on Saturday as Croatia beat Belarus in Zagreb. He lost his place in the starting 11 tonight. And Mladen Petric, who scored the winning goal here in 2007 in Croatia's 3-2 win. And that aforementioned Euro 2008 qualifier that cost England so dear and led to Croatia celebrating. Well, the roles have been reversed between the two countries so far tonight. England themselves are unchanged at half-time, no surprise in that at all. 2 goals to the good, the Lampard penalty, and Steven Gerrard header. Croatia start the second half with a lot to do. That's an understatement. Petric and Rakitic both getting their first touches of the ball. As Capello sensed something right at the start, and he tolerates no slovenliness, in a relatively comfortable position. But as you said, Gary, towards the end of the first half, if Croatia were to score the next goal, it could still open a can of worms as far as England are concerned.
Exactly, and so often after a fine 45 minutes, a side can come out a little bit slow, and I think Capello is very aware of that.
Intercepting. Caught up in any of the hullabaloo around these excellent results that England have been achieving in Group 6. Which is known, of course, in this country. Being a fine player with West Ham United and Everton in the Premier League.
Slaven Bilic maybe feels that Croatia's best opportunity is down their left side. With obviously the substitutions that he's made, with Rakitic coming on that left-hand side. Maybe he's there to deny the ball into Aaron Lennon a little bit, but I'm sure that he also wants to see him get forward, and Glenn Johnson.
Green gets a glove to it, the goalkeeper who employed in the first half. This is more serious action. Cerna. Šimanić. Djukic trying to flick was too much embroidered really for the circumstances. Just try and bed themselves into the second half with no alarms and play their way on from decent bedrock since the resumption. Engleska. Not far forward for England. They've never before qualified for a World Cup group with 2 matches to spare. Some histories in the making here. Eduardo and company can really find their spark. Eduardo and Petric now, which hardly had a touch of the ball in the first half. Sven-Göran Eriksson is a welcome guest on behalf of the Football Association tonight. Now working in England, of course, in the 4th tier of the English professional league system in Notts County. It's not the 4th tier for long.
where you really earn your money is once you get to the finals and the latter stages. And, well, who knows, in less than a year's time, England might be doing just that in South Africa.
Quick corner, quick thinking by Croatia. England didn't expect the corner to be given, but Cerna knew it was his, and Djukic was on the same wavelength as the skipper. This is interesting. Look here, look where England aren't.
Well, it's really bright play, it really is, and again, defensively from England's perspective, need to sharpen up, just need to be a little bit more alert to that situation.
Goal. He doesn't hold it up this time. Franchard. Taken down by Heskey after the ball had gone. Incidentally, no yellow card for Heskey late in the first half after that collision with the goalkeeper. Referee ruling that Heskey was fighting for a ball he was entitled to go for. Cerna spending it beyond Heskey. Franchard. With Croatia when they got to the finals in 2006, when his father was the coach. Franchard wasn't easy for his son to win over the critics. Accusations of nepotism. He's offside here. It wasn't a good campaign 3 years ago, nothing like Croatia in 1998 when they finished third.
Well, again, the officials this evening have made some very good calls on some very tight decisions. And from England's perspective, got it just right there with Eduardo, just drifting offside.
Headed on by Heskey. Kranic. Stretching foot belonged to Lampard. Achieved what he set out to do, and the ball came back to him. Petric. Cerna. Cross early, it's pretty comfortable for Terry. Forward a hefty touch. Move England out. Through midfield via Gerrard onto Heskey. Despairing Kranic. Getting out to show here, Gary, that he's not just a one-half wonder.
Well, he started very positively, hasn't he, Aaron Lennon? But his confidence is high at the moment. He's got great pace, and Kranic just doesn't know how to deal with Aaron Lennon this evening.
Terry had gone up, and he had a chance to attack the second ball. Did that. Stumbling challenge. He's been penalised. Going down too well. The England fans who are bellowing in support of the skipper.
And I think rightly so. that's a dive, isn't it? Terry's made no contact whatsoever, particularly. Certainly not enough to force his opponent to the ground.
Šibinić. Them on, as well as the 7,000 fans who are a bit subdued at the moment, understandably. Almost feel at times that take 2-0 and let's get away from here. Play on for that playoff place. England take their plaudits without inflicting any further damage. Croatia's reputation. Flag. It's Heskey. Offside stat continues to rise. Midfield a bit against England, number 9.
brilliantly to get a header in there in front of Eduardo, because he was poised to nod it in the back of the net. And I really would like to see England just get hold of this ball, start to control the game a little bit more. But when Ashley Cole loses out in this little tussle and it's clipped in, Glenn Johnson is the wrong side, somehow gets ahead to it, no foul.
Who has been penalised. He went with us right at the start. Anyway, the penalty that got England off on the right note, but that could have really thrown the match into the melting pot a little. If been a penalty. Johnson coming from the back of the Brazilian-born Croatia striker. Taken with a moving ball. He's not happy. Slaven Bilic on behalf of his country and his team, and in particular his number 9. From the referee's angle, there's the contact before the header.
Well, personally, I guess being a former defender myself, I don't think it's a penalty, I really don't, but Glenn Johnson certainly needed to get a challenge in, because if he didn't, Eduardo would have nodded it home.
In the context of the game, it was a big call that went England's way. But respect for you on those matters is total, Gary. If you say that, do for me. As we do for the England fans, I think the sight of Jermaine Defoe. Goes over Heskett, might reach Rooney. Heads it away. A bit sloppy from Terry in the first place. Ashley Cole gives him a bit of an earful, I think, the skipper, to bailed him out. It's been like that over the last 5 minutes or so from England's point of view. Djukic's trying to get the loose ball, and he does get it now. That's a great tackle from Johnson. Something, no question about the validity of that challenge. Patrick is still picking himself up. It was from about the sort of position that Patrick scored from. Croatia won at Wembley. Lennon. Hopefully playing a good advantage here. Johnson loves to get forward. Lampard's header! 3-0 England. 2 of them for Frank Lampard, and 20 goals he's got now for England.
Well, again, it's come down the England right-hand side, hasn't it? And it was Lennon involved initially, but when ultimately he was brought down, the referee played, I thought, a good advantage, which enabled England then to slide the ball out to Glenn Johnson on that right-hand side. Here's the good advantage. Gerrard picks out Glenn Johnson. Can he deliver with some quality? He certainly does. And that really is a clever little header from Frank Lampard. Really picks out a lovely angle with great direction into the bottom corner.
Well, it's at the end where he scored the winner in the FA Cup final for Chelsea back in May. That may just have sealed the knot between England and South Africa for the World Cup finals of 2010. And after the goal, Heskey off, Defoe on. That means no respite for Croatia. Could face a real hiding here. Defoe wanting to keep this extraordinary sequence going. 2 goals as a substitute here against Andorra, 2 goals as a substitute to bail England out in Amsterdam in August. They were in friendly games, sorry, the Andorra game was in a competitive game, another friendly here. He scored what turned out to be the winner against Slovenia only last Saturday.
And in the form that Jermaine Defoe is in at the moment, you wouldn't back against him. I'm pretty certain he'll get at least a chance in this game. And if Croatia try to chase this 3-0 deficit that faces them, they could really come unstuck.
Free kick here. It's now gone a happy hour for Fabio Capello and England. Nothing like the threat from the England right. He's offside if the Farad slipped it forward. Worked out well for the home nation getting the throw. He's done the job that he was sent out there to do. The opportunity to get on the score sheet himself. He vacates alongside Rooney for the avaricious Jermaine Defoe of Tottenham Hotspur. The ball from Serna. Kept in by Rakitic.
Well, I think now there's an opportunity for England to really stretch this game. In possession, they need to space off, pull wide, not only stretch wide, but also create distance from front to back as well. Pass it competently and see the timeout, basically.
They're doing exactly that, Gary. We've got Steven Gerrard way out on the touchline down beneath us. And, suddenly, Lennon on the right-hand side. It's given away by Kojovic. Took a while to catch the eye of Fabio Capello, did Frank Lampard. It was rarely for him, available for a couple of games through injury. First took over. He's on a hat-trick here. Cole. Lampard. Now Lennon. Rakitic doing what no one really did in the first half, helping out the left back. He was playing it for most of the half after starting the game in midfield. That's Slaven that won't go down as one of his great tactical switches. Worried about who's going to play at right back because of Chorluka's suspension. It's down the left where they've been found wanting. And that's gone out. Aaron Lennon's relief. Just taken a smile off his face for a moment.
It's not too often as a player you appeal to the linesman to give a throw to the opposition.
He needed it, didn't he?
He did indeed.
French are in. Here's Serna. French out.
Glenn Johnson tonight, his defensive position has been so much better than it was on Saturday. You know, he's really taken up a decent position there so that as the ball's not wide, he can threaten it, and on that occasion he wins it.
Franchar. Rakitic could do. There's not much Croatia can do now. Now it's 3-0.
Well, Glenn Johnson loves to get forward, and he's picked out Frank Lampard brilliantly. Just cuts the ball back, didn't appear to look up, but knew that players would be in that area. And Lampard, rather than go for any great power, picks out the corner. Really clever header.
Frank Lampard would come into the category of a number of these England players that this is the last chance. We've had other World Cup opportunities. By Cerner. Asking for handball. The likes of Rooney will be around for many years to come, and Lennon as well. David Beckham go to a fourth World Cup for England. Gerrard, there's no offside here, it's Rooney trying to be the goal maker for another header from Gerrard. He has, and it's 4-0 for England. They are making their point with emphasis and some great goal scorers of England's past up in the stand, joining the celebrations for Fabio Capello's team. 2 for Lampard and now 2 for Gerrard.
Well, great credit to Wayne Rooney, who when eventually the ball breaks to him down that right-hand side, there's no offside. Who can he pick out? What can he do? Takes the keeper out of the equation. And Stevie Gerrard, who clipped it through initially, is bright enough to get into that position and then clever enough to head home.
Yes, it wasn't a formality, the header by any means. The goalkeeper was getting back, there's a player on the line, but it was the loop that did it. England are, in more ways than one, heading to South Africa. Ryan Robson there, Alan Shearer there. Their time is gone for these England players. 2010 is looming large and in lights. Defoe.
It's now very important from England's perspective that they keep a clean sheet. They've been brilliant going forward. Now, for me, the key is that they stay concentrated and focused. When they can get forward, terrific, but certainly don't give any further opportunities whatsoever to Croatia.
Lennon. He's finished yet. Steven Gerrard in tandem with Frank Lampard, but in different areas of the midfield. I wonder if they'll be trying to get into the box on the same cross, and who can be first to an England hat-trick.
Just epitomises Steven Gerrard, doesn't it? Head running at one end and then defends on his own goal line at the other end.
Right on it from Cerner. Barry missed the versatility, dealing with it. Left that, but needed to be told. Cerner. 4-0 to England. As Chart tries to make some inroads into that margin.
Well, we know what he can do from distance. He's got a good strike on him, but Robert Green, pretty straightforward from him tonight to gather and safely then clear the ball.
Mandzukic, Gunchard, to be fair to him, he's not hit, he's still trying to provide a pass, and that was close to being a penetrating one for Eduardo Rakitic. Eduardo's header! Green keeps it out. Petric, Mandzukic, Green's there again, and it's put in the end by Eduardo, and it's no clean sheet for England.
Well, 4-1. I said that I was hoping England could stay focused at the back. Robert Green initially makes a wonder save from the first header. He's then alert enough. This is the first save from Eduardo's header. It really is a good save. He's alert enough to get a block on the second one, but can't keep it far enough away from Eduardo. And when ultimately he palms it back out in front of him, there's Eduardo to tuck it into the net.
I think there was a question there as to whether there was an offside Petric when Eduardo headed it, but when Green pushed it out, that Petric should have been flagged offside because he was offside on the original cross, but the goal has been given. And now there are some unseemly scenes at Wembley here, which won't do England's reputation in terms of being a bidder for future World Cups any good, because whoever the culprit in whichever country he purports to represent, it's the lack of security that endangers the players. Eduardo's coming off, having just scored, so giving away to Ivan Klasnic, who is a remarkable young man. He's joined, like Eduardo earlier, he's joined the trial into the Premier League. He signed for Bolton in the last transfer window, and he's come back into football after 2 kidney transplant operations. Extraordinary feat of courage. I think Eduardo, in a tiny way, and it is only a tiny way at the moment, has made a point to his detractors. He certainly, if you like, earned the goal with the first header. There might have been a question mark about who finally got the ball in the net through the involvement of Petric. 4-1 it is. Šimanić winning that header. Doubting the capacity of media and even the section of the supporters to go right over the top on an England qualification with a big win. Those who will take a more considered view, which includes Gary Stevens, I'm sure, maybe the goal conceded would just calm a few people down.
Yeah, I think it will a little bit, but it's been a terrific performance by England. We have to say that. You know, to score 4 goals at this level is quite an achievement. Personally, I would rather us to have won 3-0 or 2-0 than, well, who knows what it's going to be, but 4-1 at the moment. And it does just suggest that if we do have an Achilles heel, that being England, that it is defensively, we just can't close it out when we really need to.
It's been so strong. It's been England's work down the right-hand side tonight. It really has been a case of it being all right on this particular night. Goals have all come from. Rooney. Touch. Sliced kick by Robert Green, who was across the roll of the ball, rather. 15 minutes to go.
They've kept playing, haven't they, Croatia? They've kept passing, they've kept probing, they've kept trying to get forward.
Here's Petric, another shot on. Good height for Green. well. He's better with his left foot, this Mladen Petric. Rather just playing through the moment, and that's what I was concerned about.
Well, I think he was making 2 points there, Capello. The first one, which we probably didn't see in view, was the fact that he wanted his England players to get closer to Croatia when they're in possession. And then the other one was when England have got it, to pass it and retain possession a little bit better than they have been doing. This is the goal that Croatia finally smuggled into the back of the net. Robert Green doing his utmost, but eventually he can't get anything on the third opportunity, and Capello, I think, will view that as a goal that was given away far too cheaply.
Oh, and what a mistake by Runye, and he's presented Wayne Rooney with England's fifth. The goalkeeper slashed at the ball. He admired his footwork in the first half, but that was desperate, really. And Wayne Rooney gets his 25th goal for England in different fashion. No wonder Bilic hangs his head. It takes Rooney beyond the great Sir Geoff Hurst, scored the hat-trick in the '66 World Cup final.
Well, I really don't know what Runye's got in his mind. For me, that has to be a right-footed clearance. And until that moment, I think he's had quite a good game. He's made some good saves, but he's taken his eye off the ball, and it really is a howler from the Croatian keeper Runye.
Well, memories of England 3 years ago in Zagreb against Croatia. Paul Robinson, who's here tonight, who saw the ball spit up rather over his attempted clearance from a Gary Neville back pass as England were beaten 2-0 in Zagreb. The boots on the other goalkeeping foot tonight.
Well, he can't blame a bad bounce because it came to him on the volley in effect, and I can only assume he's taken his eye off it a little bit. Once he's slashing it, anything can happen, and Wayne Rooney was given an absolute gift.
Yeah, certainly the ball did spin off Runye's foot, spin towards Rooney. You would never have known that, by the way. He just simply stroked it into the guarded part of the net. Feet. And change. He's just a little behind in his preparations to get on. David Beckham.
Well, it's been quite an incredibly open game, this, hasn't it? And I think you have to give some credit to Croatia, because at no stage have they ever tried to close the game up. They started off in very positive fashion, thinking that they could get at Glenn Johnson, the England right back, and that led to Aaron Lennon having an awful lot of space, and they found themselves 2-0 down, and they've kept going, but they've left themselves open.
They're open again. It's Ashley Cole. They're not going to make the double switch now. It's good management by Capello. There's been much smiling from David Beckham over the last week or so, because he wasn't involved on Saturday. And he's got a long flight back to the USA tomorrow, and he is going to at least go back with another cap. Aaron Lennon goes up to well-deserved ovation, but there's nothing to compare with what Welcome Beckham gets. He still carries this huge charisma. Steven Gerrard is not going to get a hat-trick, because he's off with 10 minutes to go. He scored 2 of England's 5. And James Milner, it's another step in the right direction for the Aston Villa man, who makes his competitive debut. England has been substitute in the last 2 friendly internationals. Almost 46 in all under 21 appearances. I don't know whether he will get to this height, but He is with a great position to come on. 5-1 to the good. Yeah, really decisive there either. Johnson. Barry was trying to lay it off to Beckham.
Game for James Milner to come into, with England in such a dominant position, 5-1 up. Should be able to get the ball out to him, and of course Beckham has been there, seen it, done it, and will love this opportunity as much as James Milner.
Losing is bad enough for Croatia, but proud people, this is a real dent to that pride. It's a drubbing, and it's not an unfair reflection of England's superiority. They've had a host of chances, could have been 4 or 5 by half-time. Just wait a while for third, open the floodgates again. There's been a goal for Croatia from Eduardo. Petric broken up by Barry. At the moment, it's 8 games, 8 wins and 31 goals scored. Cernak. Croatia to their credit. It's Kranjčar.
Well, it truly has been great entertainment, hasn't it? And Kranjčar there, trying to get another shot away, but it's been a game that I really didn't expect would go this way. My shout was 2-0 to England.
Well, there were plenty here in that crowd of 87,319. They probably would have gone along with you if they'd had maybe a trip to the bookmakers earlier in the day. But if anyone's gone 5-1, they'll be hoping to hang on to their bet. With 7 minutes to go, they might not. Because Croatia are still looking to try and score again. It's the only way they know to play, really. And we really do fancy England every time they get forward. A young manager, although he's had some 3 years in the job now. Took over from Joe's father. Petric. It's really mowed down. John Terry's going to get a yellow card for that challenge.
Well, it was fierce, wasn't it? I felt John Terry actually played the ball, but there was an element of a two-footed tackle in there. Yeah, and I think the referee's probably right. And I don't know why John needs to get himself involved in that type of challenge at this stage of the game either.
Which has gone up. Yet though, plays foot, Klasnic. Well, it'll be interesting to see what sort of celebrations there are from the players themselves. Their fans will be jubilant, and their supporters all over the world will be not just getting to South Africa, but the way it's been done. Such a dominant force in the group, and such a dominant force against the second place team in the group tonight.
Well, my hope is that the England players warmly applaud the crowd, shake hands with the opponents, and take it very much in their stride. Qualifying is only job.
Rooney. Here's Beckham. Defoe hasn't really had a chance this time since he came on. Still 4 minutes to go. It's added time. Can sense that the fans have come out tonight with their party hats on. They're ready for that party to begin. England will be mature, not going around trumpeting too much. There have been plenty of good England qualifying teams in the past. There's not been quite the fulfilment at the end, although to be fair to England, that's always said, isn't it, without really close scrutiny. There have been some campaigns where there's been a lot of bad luck for England in World Cup finals, including, as Gary Stevens will know only too well, the Hand of God, 1986. We were there. Different capacities that is to add. 82, they didn't lose a game in the finals. In 1990, it was the penalty shootout against Germany in the semi-finals, Gascoigne's tears and all that. So a bit closer maybe than some of the critics would suggest. But is this England team in a World Cup that's going to be staged in more wintry conditions? Suit England for this climate. June and July. Beckham's ball fades away from Rooney. So there are genuine grounds for optimism, and this has certainly fanned those particular flames.
Yes, without doubt. Beckham there pinged a great ball through for Milner. His second ball was just slightly too strong for Wayne Rooney. But already we've seen the quality that Beckham still possesses. To Rooney, close to all that time, Barry. Still to come in the group for England, away to Ukraine. Here against Belarus. It'll be interesting to see what Fabio Capello does with his team selections for those fixtures. There'll be plenty of Premier League managers who will be saying, well, can you do us a favour? We've tried to help you out with player availability. Very few, if any, club v country issues since Capello took charge. Beckham really enjoying this, and they're entitled to do it. Well, we've just seen 15 or 20 passes from England, and then a surge into the area from Lampard. Beckham picks him out, and unfortunately Lampard can't quite remain on his feet, but this is tough for Croatia now. They can't get near the ball.
Rooney doesn't want it to stop. He's come back into midfield, so he had a keep ball as the band salutes England's triumph here tonight. Again, Rooney, Lampard. Here's Milner trying to burst through the middle. A toe to it ahead of Šiminić. Cheers for Rooney. Rooney was from the same family, and it looked a bit like that. But of course, unwittingly, he passed straight to Wayne Rooney, to his veteran Rooney. Stopped at least Croatia, thinking they might have had the final word with Eduardo's goal and pulled it back to 1. 2 added minutes, and Defoe's got his chance and maximise it.
And it was a chance, and he knows that. He'll be disappointed that he didn't gather that through ball, because if he had have done, he was one-on-one with the keeper.
Putting a bit, but it was unnecessarily. So did he touch it? So
no contact. However, you could defend the Croatian on the basis of, well, if he doesn't get out of the way, maybe he takes a hefty blow. But an unnecessary challenge, really, from James Milner. Get close, stay on your feet, give Croatia the problem.
Well, before tonight, only Holland from Europe definitely through, along with Australia. 2 Koreas, Japan from Asia, Brazil from South America, Ghana from Africa, as well as the host South Africa. The other names added to that roll of honour tonight around the world. That roll of honour will be England. And it should be celebrated, as you said earlier, Gary. There are 2 parts to this World Cup conundrum. You've got to get there, and when you get there, you've got to deliver. Sometimes you need 2 separate teams to do that. Have shown in their strong qualification programme these players have really got the bit between the teeth to be involved in both respects. And there it is. 8 wins in a row for Fabio Capello's England, and this one really the most emphatic against a strong opponent, but not too strong tonight. And John Terry leads England to South Africa, qualification ensured. With 2 matches still to play, it's the best achievement historically that England have ever done in that respect. Rooney got the 5th goal. There were 2 apiece for Lampard, 1 from the penalty spot, and 2 both headers from Steven Gerrard. But from start to finish tonight, England have bossed this from start to finish in Group 6. Well, it hasn't finished yet. From start to 8 games gone, England have been totally the dominant force. They get their reward. England are going to the World Cup in South Africa in 2010. For David Beckham, if he makes the squad, that will be a 4th finals. Others who have got pain in the past to try and put right, as they did to some extent tonight against Croatia. We talked, Gary, about how they wanted to use revenge as a motive. Whatever the motives, it's been a spectacular qualification.
Well, it's been outstanding from England's perspective, a 100% record in their group, 5-1 tonight. A really flowing performance from England. From the off, they took control of the game. Aaron Lennon down the right-hand side was terrific. They've scored goals. The only slight blot on the copybook was the fact that England, in a game that they really have dominated, have ended up conceding a goal. But on a night like this, when England qualify for the World Cup finals in South Africa, I think we can afford them one little mistake, don't you?
Well, it's been a measured response from the players. The supporters, the good majority of them, staying to pay their respects for this somewhat leisurely lap of honour. It might look leisurely when you look at the group table, but they worked very hard to get this position of such preeminence. Adrian Bevington, the head of the communications, just having a word with John Terry and getting him lined up for a quick after-match response for the local television network here. And Rooney, although tonight maybe not the most dominant force, got a goal. Aaron Lennon was a real success on the right-hand side. He was a player who went to the World Cup in 2006 and offered a hint of promise. More consistency required from him, and if he does get it, well, England have got a talented attacker.
Well, there is a group of highly talented England players. There's a mix of youth and experience, led by a coach in Fabio Capello, who will only ever accept the highest of standards. And as it stands at the moment, it really does bode well.
Special souvenir for one fan. Can't believe her luck. For Beckham, the question is, who's he going to be playing for in 2010 when the MLS season comes to an end? He's going to come back to Europe. He's been talking about that since he's been back over here. So final score here at Wembley tonight. England 5. Choked over the word, really.